Hey everyone, it's Deborah with Pinching Pesos, and I have started a brand new weekly segment called They Paid What? Tuesday. So I'm going to get this started out with my sales from last week. These are the sales that ran from Sunday to Saturday. And I had a total of 16 total sales for $624.25. I normally charge shipping, so that's the cost differential there on the screen. So let's get started with the very first item that sold February the 22nd. This is one of the variation listings that I've been putting together for parts, and as you can see, this is for the wherever super shooter parts, and I have sold out of these little screws and pistons. I was charging $8.95 free shipping for them, and I sold 3 in the since I've had this listing, and that was all that I had. As you can see, they are out of stock. So that was the first sale of the week. Next sale up was this North Face hiker's pack. I paid $2.99 for it at Goodwill, and I sold it on best offer for $45 plus shipping. So that's a pretty good turnaround on $2.99. This actual item is discontinued. They don't have this particular model anymore. I also forgot to mention on the super shooters, I buy those for about $3.99, $4.99. They normally range. During the Christmas season, you can sell just the handles, the actual motor pieces, for very decent money. I sell them normally for about $14.95. If you can find a new one in the box, even if the box is damaged, those babies sell for like $100 brand new. So anyway, moving on to our next sale of the week was my big super soaker sale. This guy I paid $4.99 for at Goodwill, and I had it listed for a good little while, and the price on it I had up at 400 and some odd dollars for quite some time. Because this one is an actual limited edition type series, it was discontinued because it was too powerful. But it was the Mark 1, and the Mark 1 you can recognize. There's ones that look just like this, but they aren't Mark 1s. The way you can tell is on the actual water gauge. The numbers on the water gauge will look differently. You can see this one has the large numbers there, and the one that's not the Mark 1 will not have those numbers. I took a best offer on this one for, let's see, it was a best offer of $125 plus shipping. It was fairly expensive to ship because it was really long. It's like 36 inches, I believe, was the length of my box. And so they paid quite a bit of money for the shipping, and it wasn't like a jacked up price at all. I think it cost me like 30 some odd dollars to get it to South Carolina, I believe is where that went. So the next sale of the week was actually this Powerwill Battery. I paid $2.99 for it at Goodwill, and you can see it sold for $44.95. It actually did have the box, but the box had a garage sale writing on it. It said brand new, $15. And so what I actually did is in my description, I put that it was new and the box was very damaged and the top was torn off. And basically what I did is I tore off the parts of the top of the box that had the price written on there. Normally I can get prices off with goof off. If you spray it on a rag and then you just wipe the first layer off of a box, it'll normally take Sharpie off. But this one was the first one I wasn't able to get it off, so I just tore it off. And let's see. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Next up on the list was these Kush men's shoes. I sold those on best offer for $29.95 free shipping. They weighed like nothing. They went first class mail. I think at like 11 ounces or something like that. I paid a little too much for these, and I don't even remember why I bought them for that price. I paid $12.99 for them at Goodwill. Um, and yeah, the best offer was $29.95. And but hey, I still made a profit, and they're not in my inventory anymore. So bye-bye too expensive men's shoes. Next on our list is another one of my variation listings that I have for parts. And let's see what I keep doing that, what we sold here. This one I actually sold the base for this unit. So the base, I paid $19.95 for this entire set. It was in a box, and the whole set of the pasta maker I paid $19.95, and I sold just the base for $39.95. You can see it right there. Now I did do free shipping, and I believe the shipping cost me about, it's £7. I remember that, and so I know it cost me right around $16, I believe. So yeah, it was still a nice profit on a part, and it paid for the whole unit. And a couple days later, I actually sold some more pieces. You'll be able to see here in just a second. Here's another one of my variation listings, and this is my Ronco listing, and what sold on this one was actually the rib rack. It's the very first rib rack I ever found. So there's the rib rack there. It was actually wrapped around one of these, the rods, and I already sold the rod. The rod went off to Canada the week before. But the rib rack, I sold it for, the rib cage, sorry, $24.95. It was free shipping. That one went £2 priority. So, you know, $7 some odd in shipping. So not a bad turnaround on these. I normally buy a whole unit. Costs me, this one actually was fairly cheap. It cost me $12.95, but I have paid $19.95 for them. I've paid $25 for them if it has all of the accessories in there. If it's got all the little baskets and all of the things, especially the kebabs. It's crazy, but those little metal kebabs, you can sell 6 of them for like $24.95 all day long. People will buy them. It's amazing. So yeah, if all of the accessories are there, like the baskets and the kebabs and those kind of things, I paid $30 for a rotisserie, and you can normally, if it has all the accessories, you can part those out for well over $200, and those baskets sell really quickly. You can sell the power knobs. I sell the motors. It's definitely a good part out on those. If you haven't seen my series, I have a mini series right now going on where I parted out a Keurig. It was a pretty difficult part out, but I wanted to show you kind of the most complicated part out you could do, that you could actually get into the guts and, you know, sell all those pieces. But you don't have to make parting out so complicated. You can do simple part outs. Like these units, you don't even, if you didn't want to get inside the machine and take out the timer knobs and timer motors and take out the gear things, hey, you don't have to. You could sit there and just take the easy things off, like the drip trays and those, the rods and the cages and those kind of things, and those are easy part outs. Anyway, next up on the list were these black Birkenstocks. I paid $6.99 for them. These aren't the really expensive Birkenstocks. These are actually a different series. They're called Tala. But they are made by Birkenstock, and they were in very good condition. You can see they don't have that funky foot stuff on them. I took a best offer on these for $20, and they paid shipping. So I made like $2 on the shipping from my top rated seller discount, and so I profited about $10 on these, or more, maybe $12. Next on the list are elevator shoes. These will make you 4 inches taller than you are. I paid, I believe, $12.99 for them at Goodwill. I took a best offer of stop doing that. I took a best offer of $33 plus shipping, and you can see he paid a pretty penny for shipping because they were actually, I think they weighed in at well over 3 pounds in the box. So uh, whoever bought those will be really happy being 4 inches taller. But this brand is Toto, and Toto specializes in elevator shoes, and they're actually fairly expensive. So if you happen to come across them, these sold really quickly for me. I believe I sold them in less than a week of them being listed. Next is more parts from the pasta machine. I actually sold 3 of the pasta dies. Now, if you remember a couple minutes ago, I said I paid $19.95 for the entire unit. I sold 3 of the pasta dies for a total of $20.85. And you can see how many more parts I have available. I have 13 additional parts, and I have sold 7 off of that one unit. So yeah, I'm definitely making quite a bit of money back on this particular purchase. And I remember at the time that I bought it, I thought $19.95 was quite a bit of money, but this turned out just fine. And I have sold pasta machines before, the Ronco ones, and they've all done fairly well. The pasta dies on a Ronco sell. What also sells on a Ronco is what's similar to this, which is the actual auger. Those will sell along with the lids. The other pieces, like the work bowl and the actual base, are a fairly slow sell. But if you can get the dies and this part and the other part, those are what's going to sell for you. So if you can get a decent price on them, I would definitely say pick it up. And the dies that I sold there, I have them priced at $6.95 each, free shipping. So next on the list is this Maleficent Crown. I was really surprised this is sold because I have had it since before Halloween. I sold one on Amazon Merchant Fulfilled back the week before Halloween, and I believe I sold it for $9.95 plus shipping. I paid $2 for these on clearance at Barnes & Noble. They were in the $2 bin, and so this one sold, you can see, $14.95 plus shipping. Pretty good for a costume item. I'm almost certain that these probably aren't available in the stores anymore, and so if you have a little girl that likes to play dress up or a birthday party, things like that, you gotta do what you gotta do. So somebody's probably really happy right now, and I got excellent feedback on this too. Next up were these Keynes. These are little girl Keynes. I paid $3.99 a pair for them, and I decided to lot them up. I did take a best offer of $30, which, thinking back on it now, I should have probably countered and tried to get a higher price because I did have, I believe I had a couple watchers on it. I might be lying. But I was just, I was just in the mood to make some money. So I went ahead and sold them for $30 free shipping. I tried really hard to get these to fit into a flat rate padded envelope, but they totally didn't. So I had to ship them regular priority 2-pound rate. So I paid a little over $7 for shipping, and so it wasn't a huge profit. Yeah, I think $30, that's $23, and I paid $8 for them. So it was about a $10 profit, but it was fairly simple and easy to ship and easy to store and easy to list. So hey, $10, that's great. And last but not least was this awesome pair of Allen Edmonds. I paid $9.95 for these at Goodwill. You can see they were in fairly good condition. The soles really showed that they were, they don't have a lot of wear on the backs and things like that. So they were well taken care of. I ended up taking a best offer on these for $79.95. I love those kind of best offers. I mean, the guy didn't try to lowball me. He's like, I just want a $10 discount. And I was like, sold. So those went off in the mail actually yesterday. So anyway, those were my sales for the week, and I hope you like the new series. I plan on doing these videos every Tuesday evening, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you get notifications and you let me know you like my videos. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, or you can send me a message at info@pinchingpesos.com. But I hope you enjoyed the new show, and you guys have a good night. Bye. Happy selling.